Well done, Sasha. Do you feel like you played two perfect tiebreaks to go 2 sets to love up?
I feel like I stole both of those sets in a way because he was playing better than me and he was serving for both of those sets. And yeah, in the tiebreak, I played quite well. He maybe missed a little bit more than he should have, and yeah, I'm happy that I won in 4 sets because this was a difficult one.
This will be your third semifinal here. How has this run been compared to others?
Yeah, I mean, last year I only played one straight set. I only had one straight set win, so that's very different. Spend a lot more time on court than this year. And actually, it's quite similar to 2020. I think I only lost 1 set on the way to the semifinals. But yeah, obviously, it's different. Back then, it was my first ever semifinal. Now, I have a set goal that I want to, achieve my dream of winning Grand Slam, and I'm chasing that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully 2 still very tough matches to come for me.
Well done, Sasha.
Thank you.
You've got some experience playing these incredibly good players in the late rounds of tournaments. What is it like to mentally prepare yourself for the challenge of playing someone like Novak or Alcaraz or even Sinner? And like, is it different than the earlier rounds? I know there's people often say like you gotta treat it like any other match, but it's not any other match, and I'm sure.
No, but I think if you're in the semi-final of a Grand Slam, you have to expect a tough match. You're not going to get it to a semis of a Grand Slam by not deserving to be there. So, and not playing great tennis. So if somebody's there, that means that they have played great tennis. And yes, more often than not, it happens to be a Sinner, an Alcaraz, a Djokovic to get there, because those are the best players in the world. So I'm going to prepare myself for a tough battle. I'm going to prepare myself for a very intense and high-level match. And, I know I have the level. I've beaten them before. And hopefully I can do that again in 2 days' time.
Sasha, you've had a bit of experience already getting to these last weekends of these big tournaments. Is there something you could point to that maybe from those past trips to semifinals and finals you've learned over the years that's something that can help you now when you get back to these levels?
I think the gap between my first 2 Grand Slam finals was maybe too big in a way. I did have a 2-year break where I was not competitive for Grand Slams, right? So, from my injury in 2022 till basically 2024, I was not really a contender for Grand Slams. The last part of 2022, I wasn't playing at all. And 2023 was my comeback year, but realistically speaking, I was not at the level to compete for Grand Slams. So, I think, being in those situations more frequently and maybe not having a gap of multiple years where I am in Grand Slam finals is very important. So I'm going to do everything I can to be in another one on Sunday, and we'll see how that goes.
Alexander, today you overpassed Boris Becker as the German with most victories at this tournament, and Tommy Haas as the second German with most victories at all Grand Slams. How do you feel yourself putting your name into the big stages of the German tennis? Is this something you maybe was thinking when you started your career?
Yeah, I think the big difference in the thing that everybody looks at is Boris Becker lifted this trophy twice. So I haven't yet. So that is I think way more important than just match wins. Of course, I'm happy to be on that list, and I'm happy to be in that conversations, and of greats in German tennis. But yeah, lifting the trophy is what is on my mind.
Scott.
Can I check something with let calls? Is your understanding that they are not electronic calls at this tournament? And
Sorry?
Let calls?
Yeah.
Is your understanding that they are not electronic? And is that a surprise to?
Yeah, I mean, we had that since French Open last year, that at Grand Slams, for some reason, we don't use LED machines. I think it's to be honest, quite ridiculous. I mean, every single corner of everything has a camera, and we have video review, and we have all the high-end technologies that we can possibly have, but a simple LED machine that we've been using for the past 25 years is not available at a Grand Slam. And to be honest, the point that Tommy Paul complained about, it was an incredibly clear LED. And I didn't know what to do in that situation, but I have to continue playing, because if there's no call and I stop playing, then it's a loss of point for me. So, in that situation, there's nothing much you can do but to continue playing. But he was absolutely right. It is a clear LED call, and I don't blame the umpire too much for it, because it is tough to hear, especially if you're sitting higher up. But for me, it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's such a surprise why we don't have a simple LED machine at Grand Slams that we used to have over the past 25 years, in tennis.
Last one in English.
Can I just ask, it was a strange moment. How was that frustrating moment where a feather sort of got in the way of the play?
Yeah, I've never had that before, that we stop a point because of a feather. So that was new to me. I'm not sure it was a hindrance to anybody. I mean, it's not like a hard object. Like, even if the tennis ball hits the feather, it doesn't really change anything. It doesn't change the trajectory of the ball, or the bounce of the ball, or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the umpire did the right call, maybe not. I have no idea. But it was a bit frustrating, because obviously Tommy then would get a first serve, and he won the point with that serve as well. And I got a warning after that, so it was a bit much happening in that stage.